You mentioned that hypocrisy. Newsom himself and other California officials, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, just recently LA County Sheila Kuehl, have all repeatedly been caught violating their own restrictions. How does this do as I say, not as I do behavior hurt the credibility of lawmakers and officials?
Well, what little credibility they have left is really kind of gone out the window with this, obviously. I mean, when people see their elected leaders getting on television and earnestly urging everybody to wear their mask at all times and just pull it down to eat and limit their travels or their going out to dinner. I mean, this woman in the supervisor in Los Angeles County, a couple hours before she went out to eat, railed on at a meeting about how dangerous it was to all the servers and everybody in the restaurant business from going out to eat. And then she picks up and goes out to eat within a couple of hours. I mean, this kind of rank hypocrisy really erodes anybody's confidence in government. And I got to tell you, I don't know if you heard, Greta, but right now California it's been disclosed that they've given $400 million, maybe even as much as $1 billion out to inmates in unemployment compensation due to just incompetence in government from not matching the Social Security numbers when they hand out unemployment compensation. Well, those things are certainly reducing these politicians' credibility. And then when they engage in this hypocrisy, it just multiplies itself. I think it's about time for California voters to hold these officials accountable, and that's what I intend to do.
I did actually want to ask you about that unemployment fraud, which was uncovered in the state. That was uncovered last week. It estimated $400 million, possibly more, going to prisoners here in the state of California. What are the implications of such fraud, and what does this reveal about the problems? There's been longtime problems, but what does this reveal about the state's unemployment system?
Well, it's interesting, Greta. Governor Newsom just issued a mea culpa today saying, oh, gee, this was bad actors that did this. Well, not exactly, Greta, because the purpose of government and public safety and law enforcement is to make sure bad actors don't take over or get payments from our government. Well, Mr. Newsom failed to mention that there are 35 states in the country who engaged in a federal program to do cross-matching of Social Security numbers so that these things would not happen. Well, guess what, Greta? California refused to enter this federal program. We're not one of those 35 states that match Social Security numbers. So is it any surprise that bad actors are able to take advantage of incompetent managerial government in California? That's the point. I'm a businessman. If I create a problem in my business and I don't solve it, or if I have a problem and I don't solve it, I'm out of business. I mean, I just can't continue, or the shareholders replace me. Well, that doesn't happen here in California. The voters have got to start paying attention and hold these politicians accountable and actually fire them. I've called on Governor Newsom to resign because, frankly, the chief executive of any private business that encountered and failed to solve the problems that Mr. Newsom has would certainly have been replaced by the board of directors by now. That hasn't happened, and I guess we're going to maybe have to wait until the election in 2022 to replace him, or maybe a recall that's ongoing right now. But Mr. Newsom should take accountability for these failures, which are just adding up for misery for the people of the state.
All right, John Cox, founder of Change California, they're joining us to discuss the exodus of big companies from California and the latest impact of the pandemic on the state's economy. Thanks so much for coming on the show today, John.
Thank you for having me on, Greta. Appreciate it.
Want to see more videos like this? Visit OANN.com for immediate access to all the clips you've been waiting to see.